Hello and welcome to FTRL F2 action from Singapore. We're at round 7 by this point. So it's flown by about me commentating any of them. Don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But joining me today is I think a very cold Pagani, isn't that right?
It is indeed. It's a bit cold in Geordieland, but we'll persevere. It's manageable.
Yeah. I mean, it'll only get warmer. That's what happens during the night, isn't it? So.
We'll say that and hope it happens.
Precisely. So, yeah, I haven't been on the commentary duties for many a time, so it's quite interesting.
You've had some time away, I think, most of this season, just chilling out. So.
Yeah, just sort of lying in bed hungover most of the time, but, you know.
The joys of being a student.
Yeah, I've only got several months of it left, so I've got to use
enjoy it while you can.
So we've got some new drivers in here from when I last checked. We've got Big Brutus, I'm going to call him. I don't know if he's big or not. Sorry if you are. What else have we got in there? Max Death, Just Mikey, Mr. Stim. What have you been seeing of these guys recently then, Pagani?
Well, Just Mikey is a fellow Haas driver, so he's got a few points this season, so it's always nice to see. Mr. Stim had a first race last week, but I think he DNF'd in that one through some early damage. Another new face, but an old face, is From. Anybody that's been around for a while will know From because he does tend to get about. Not in that way, but yeah, he's not new to league racing.
No, he is a veteran. It's been said in the PSGL. He's been racing there for an extremely long time, so he's very experienced. I think ZE3, I know a bit. I think I've raced him in PSGL. I believe some other people in here have. Was running IRL. Don't know if he still is, but from what I've seen, he's a very decent driver and a very clean one. From what I know of him.
Well, the interesting factor will Nexus Legend get pole once again? Aspect has been showing very good form lately. I think he's won the last 2 races as Aspect, so after Legend's very good opening to the season.
It's still good to see those doing well, so I was leading them before I unfortunately had to drop out of F1 due to university dissertation inning. I like doing that, just putting an inning on the end. Makes it sound fantastic. But anyway, it's good to see Aspect doing well in the league. I think he's really having a good season based on what I've seen and what you've been saying.
Well, what I will do is find the standings and have a quick update while I'm... Yeah, I know what I'm doing, honest.
So we have got Neon Rapid, Maxim... Oh no, I'm going to get this wrong. Maxime Defontaine, that is a fantastic name.
I was going to say, I believe that is Max Def in the Red Bull.
I mean, that would make perfect sense, wouldn't it, really? But anyway, Max Def then. I mean, that is a fantastic name. I'll give you that. So, welcome, hope you have a good race. It said IRL Neon must have been in that league with ZE3, wishing him well.
Oh, Brutus has lost a wheel!
Oh. Big Brutus. Big Brutus, it's not gone well for him.
He tagged the wall on the right, and then there was a little gap in the wall, and yeah, that gap just sort of ripped the front left wheel off the car. So, I mean, provisional pole at the moment, but I don't think he'll stay there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's... Anyway, it said he has put in a flying lap, so he at the very least won't be left without a lap on the board. That's Max Def. I think comes on and finishes out 39.4, so it's a fair bit off Big Brutus. What else we got? Just Mikey in your favourite Haas team, sort of launching around. Yes, Aaron, you do hear a panda. unfortunately for everyone listening, I have returned tonight.
I mean,
Very
you say
sorry.
unfortunate. I think it's probably the best news we've had all year. Nothing against Simon. I love Simon.
That sounded like a bit of a dig at Simon.
Well, I'll quickly have a quick rundown of the championship positions. We've got Nexus Legend, currently top on the standings on 102 points. He's only been off the podium in one race so far this season, and that was Mexico. He's had a very good run as Nexus Legend. Nexus
Yeah.
Aspect in P2, 91 points, so not too far away. He's won the last two. So, there's an alpha round and two cars have crashed into him. One of them is on the
ZE3.
podium.
Yeah,
The other one
ZE3's
is
round.
last.
We've got that unknown racer in the chat. I think you've given away your identity there, because you've just said you've had a little tap, so I presume you're Big Brutus. Unfortunately for you, your covert name on YouTube is no longer particularly secret. I now know that you are Big Brutus. I'm very sorry to tell you about that. Who knows, just a little tap on the water. That's all it takes sometimes. Especially if you catch it at a weird angle.
Especially with Singapore, it's very difficult not to get wing damage around here at the best of times. That the walls just want to pluck that front wing away. But
Yeah, even the best in FTRL will be constantly hitting their wing on certain things. Around here.
I managed three corners yesterday, so hopefully all of the F2 boys manage a little bit more today.
So we've got a decent attendance tonight, 16 of them. We have got Hammer Time, who thankfully isn't working today, so he is able to compete, which is always good to see. I'm always interested to see where he ends up appearing in the final race, because he can be completely random.
Yeah.
He can suddenly be up near the podium, or he can be sort of down near the bottom, so hopefully we'll get the best of him tonight.
Yeah, it is probably Hammer Time's one deficiency. He's very track dependent on his pace, but at the tracks where he's strong, he's very strong. So Singapore, it doesn't flow as well as some of the other tracks, unless you're in a rhythm. And last week, Hammer Time managed to knock his vape from his cabinet onto his foot, so he was screaming around in pain for 3 or 4 laps. So hopefully that doesn't happen this week.
Got one of your Haas boys on pole now, 37.2 from Just Mikey. I'm not sure about strategy. Is this one of those medium to hard or hard to medium one stops? Or have we got something else going on?
I think the suggested strategy, one that everybody played yesterday, who had free choice of tyre with a wet qualifying, was to start on the medium tyre. So
Okay. Interesting.
We are seeing quite a few
one too.
sufferers. Well, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to take a screenshot because it's probably the only time it's going to happen all season in all 3 divisions.
Yeah. Any member of Pagani's Haas team also take a screenshot, because as Pagani said, this is the only time it will happen, and it probably won't even stay like this for another minute and a half. So you've got to be quick with your cameras. Let's be honest. Yeah. Sometimes you just get those penalties, Max. Unfortunately, it's part of this coded into the game, and there's not a lot anyone can do about it.
A driver that I am interested in seeing how he qualifies today is Mr. Lee Cole. Currently 16th without a time. He's been struggling in qualifying lately. A bit like me, has been sort of towards the back of the grid. But in the race, he's shown a bit more pace, but tends to get a bit of front wing damage early on, which that at the back can happen. As I say that, he's just cracked. I'm not going to mention Lee anymore.
There's always a debate around these two tracks, which one of the most, sort of the 2 street tracks or the most street-like tracks, being Singapore and Monaco. It's always a bit of debate which one's harder. Some people think this one, because you have to do more track time, there's more corners. You know, you've got to really keep focused. Some people argue Monaco because the barriers are closer. I mean, both of them are difficult in their own way. I think I'd probably say Monaco's harder for me, but I know some people really enjoy it.
I'd probably go the same route. I'm not a big fan of Monaco.
No.
There's a little bit more space to work with in Singapore, so you can make a little mistake. Where Monaco, it's make a mistake and you're dead, basically.
Yeah, but it is also one of those tracks like Monaco, where if you manage to keep it clean, keep all your front wing, someone else, a lot of people in front of you will probably have to change their wing at some point. So you can make up ground just by driving around maybe 5% slower than you can do just to keep out the barriers. It can help.
Well, currently waiting on for time from both McLaren.
I doubt this is a tactical play from the McLaren team to not set any time on the board halfway into qualifying, but you know, I cannot say for certain. I mean, Big Brutus is still in 5th place, which is quite good going, really.
What was it? Nexus Legend is currently on a 38 flat, which is 8/10 off pole on the hard tyre.
Yeah, him and Hijack look to be the two with the pace around here. I don't know if is that what's been happening this season? We have those two battling out at the front.
Hijack has attempted to get as close to the front as possible, but sometimes his qualifying has let him down a little bit. So obviously he'll be hoping to get into that top 5 in quality today, I believe. But it wouldn't everybody. Everybody would love to get the top 5.
So would I, and I'm not even racing. He said, I think he's saying mentioning Aspect is often up there as well, so and Lotus can put in a good time. So if those two get it sorted, onto the podium is put in a very competitive time. They're actually a 38.2 on the hards. He is probably, I think out of his tracks, I think he likes Singapore the most. I think it's his favourite track throughout the calendar.
He does consider himself to be a renowned Singapore specialist.
Yeah, I know that.
With having his sole win, having a win round here, he also bottles it quite a lot around here. I remember a pit entry he managed to crash himself into, which he was leading the race at the time, so I found it quite comical. But yeah,
of course you did.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Fair point. But yeah, he does love this track. He has got, I think he's got a pole in his league racing career, maybe a couple. He's got a couple of wins throughout the different leagues, so Singapore is definitely a strong one for him. See, Posh Blue actually, I think has just gone 4th on the hards, 37.6. It's a very, very good time. So I don't know if we're getting any others on the hards. No,
I would believe it's Posh Blue is due some good luck. I mean, he hasn't had any for about the last game and a half. He just, like, I swear he must just walk under ladders while smashing mirrors. It's just, I've never known somebody have as bad run of form as what he has.
Yeah, it's an impressive amount of form. No, we're not singing, Aaron. It's not that kind of show. I'm sorry.
We won't sing because we don't want the stream to get copyrighted because we're such great singers that it would be perfectly in tune.
That's a good point, actually. We'd be too accurate. There's no point. Just get immediately copyrighted, the stream would be over. So we'll avoid doing that. So I don't think you've sung in one of your many commentaries, Aaron. So it's not the norm.
I was briefly in a party with Hammer Time who was singing Christmas songs earlier, so I mean,
in P2 he'll be singing plenty of
I was going to say, maybe if we can get into the podium we might have some singing after the race, but I don't know, I doubt it.
Lee's out early. I think he really wants to get a time on the board, maybe when he can go around without distractions of other cars potentially in the way. He'll be fully aware he wants to improve that 40.8.
I want to say tyre strategy is sort of all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, we've got a lot fitted now on the mediums, obviously, and quite a lot on the softs that are currently far down there, the likes of Cat and Lee Cole, who are coming back out on the softs. I mean, Cat doesn't need to come out on the softs, but it looks like he wants to. So we finally got one of the McLarens out the garage next to Lotus. He's going to get one chance at this.
Aaron's asking me to vouch that he's probably sung at some point. I don't believe you've sung, Aaron. I mean, you've probably done an accent which has come across as very racist, but other than that, I would not suggest you've been singing.
I don't think you've been singing. I'm going to take an issue with that, Aaron. I've not heard you sing on stream yet. Right, we'll go on board with Lee. I believe he is on his flying lap on the softs.
Don't put extra pressure on the poor lad.
Sorry, he probably doesn't have to stream.
I mean, he's probably in a party with Aaron Taylor who's watching the stream, so... Oh, he's gone a little bit wide.
Don't know if that invalidates you. Who knows?
Oh, he's tagged the wall. He's still got his front wing though. Still good.
He's still in... Oh, God.
Oh, he's tagged the wall again. Late.
He's still in 5, so he obviously hasn't invalidated. Not been the cleanest, that, but he has still got a wing and he's still going round, so it's an improvement over the other one.
I can see why Lee likes GT so much, but there's not been any damage on the... Because this Renault can't see me in one piece, unfortunately, at the end of this race. So sorry, Lee. I mean, I want you to do well. I want you to get the point, so please do it. Don't crash.
We all want him to do well. In your favourite banana as well.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the doghouse for the banana team still. I have been for a very long time.
It takes a lot of speed into their controls as well, though. Very easy to lose traction through these few corners.
About to run out of ERS. He has done. No ERS for the last 2 corners.
For the most part, he's kept out of the barriers. Going to the line.
He improved with 39.9, but I think he improved by 8 tenths and stayed 13th. Which is a bit like Lee's season at the moment. He just, whatever he does, he just can't seem to get that bit higher up the grid, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah, it was a scruffy lap from Lee, really. Hit a few barriers, went a bit wide. He certainly got more in that lap time.
Well, just Mikey and Nexus Cats are still in the pit, so their qualifying is over.
Got Hammer Time coming round to start his lap. Currently in P2, he'll be looking to take provisional pole away from his teammate, just Mikey. Takes it very wide into there. You get a good exit. Getting out wide, but also got a good launch. Big fan of this corner. Sort of just swing it around, it's quite entertaining. This throwing goes pole on the mediums. Very tasty indeed.
Oh, on the podium does believe he has a sandbagging in him. I don't believe he's sandbagging at the moment. I believe that might be outright pace.
Does get out the way for Hammer Time. Swings it round, doesn't touch the wall. Gets back on that power, heading towards the very tricky section over the bridge.
Yeah, that wall on the right in that first braking zone does stick out more than what people think.
Yeah, it's inviting.
Very easy clip. Yeah, I mean Lennon did it in the performance race on the last lap of all that, so...
Which definitely wasn't funny. Ooh, that's a quick time.
Yeah, Legend just gone pole by 7 tenths.
That's a very good lap by onto the podium as well. Puts it on P2.
Oh, Mr. Stim has crashed going over the bridge. I've just seen Nexus Lotus have to go a bit slower through that section as he didn't know if the car was ghosted.
Hammer Time coming through the final section. Takes that corner very well. You can cut a bit of this on the inside.
Jumped into P2.
Here's Hammer Time. Does improve to a 36.9. Takes him into third. Cat out on the softs. Oh, he's careered into the corner and he's just angrily hitting the wall over and over again. Next loads. Next. I'm dead.
Well, the sad thing that we have to say is that Mr. Lee Colley's on the back row of the grid again, unfortunately, with that untidy lap. But he will move up with Max having a 5-place grid penalty. So he will move to 4 end.
Yeah, we have got Nexus Legend takes pole onto the podium with a good qualifying. Second on the medium, followed by Aspect in the McLaren. His sort of usual suspects up there. We've got Hammer Time in 4th on the soft tyre. I reckon it's probably his highest start season, or at least it's got to be up there. Flying Frame on the mediums as well, looking well placed. Just Mikey and the Hasser in 6th on the softs. A real mix of tyres in the top 10. Next is Cat on the medium in 8th, City Posh and Big Brutus in 8th and 9th. Hijacked in 10th, rounds off the top 10. We then got FTRL capped in 11th on the hard tyres. Lotus and Mrs. Steve in 12th and 13th. Max in 14th, Lee in 15th, and ZE3 bringing up the rear with yet another position penalty. So both Max and ZE3 got a penalty for making contact there, so at least it wasn't just entirely one direction. And that looks a bit murky.
I mean, it's a good thing we don't have the 107% ruling, as Z3 was 22 seconds off pole. So I do believe he only had that one time lap earlier where he got a bit of damage. So yeah, qualifying not going to plan for those guys at the back. Hijacked has gone whoopsie in the chat, so I guess he made an error somewhere. And onto the podium, he said he's very disappointed. I mean, he's only 1/10 away from pole.
Well, he wanted them pole position points. Clearly.
Well, then he should have gone quicker. But
that's the rule, isn't it? That is the rule. Go real fast and you'll get there.
I mean, Aaron has backed up your point saying, "Ooh, it's very cloudy."
You've got a career as a weatherman. If the phone shops ever fail you, Aaron.
I was going to call him Michael Owen, to be honest, but
that works too. And we've got Nexus, a legend, on pole. Very quick driver. The pre-season race was the last time I commentated with him. He had a big old battle with Stocky for the entire race. Onto the podium, also on the mediums in second, very good qualifying. He'll be looking to get him into turn 1. Aspect in the McLaren in third. He's also been up there a lot of this season. He's been getting podiums frequently, based on what I've been seeing on Twitter. He'll be probably in a battle with onto the podium and legend. Maybe Frem can be in there as well for the most of the race. FTRL Hammer Time coming up in fourth. Good qualifying from him on the softs. I'm sure Pagani will be cheering on as his friend and team captain. Flying Throne on the mediums in fifth in his Alpha. Fairly recently joined the F1 League. He's been racing in the GT League on and off for a long time. Everyone in there knows what he's like. Everyone knows in performance what he's like. He's currently leading that, so he's got some good chance here. Mikey in sixth, also on the soft tyres for Haas. 2 cars in the top 10. I know in real life they'd be extremely happy with that one. I'm sure Pagani is also extremely happy with that one. Nexus Cat, the first of the racing points in 7th on the mediums. Pretty good qualifying from him. He's on the correct tyre. He'll be looking to fend off City Posh Blue, the next car behind him, going into turn 1. Hard shouldn't give him a great launch. However, they are going to go a long time into this race. If he can keep clean, have a good stint, it's all there for him. Big Brutus in 9th. Qualifying cut short by a little bit of contact with lost on the wheel. Not brilliant, but he looked like he had some pace because he did have a provisional pole. Hijacked in the top 10. He is on the hard, so he'll be completely fine. Going along into this race, probably following City Bosch Blue. FTRL Cat as well, household name with FTRL. Been around pretty much since the start. I think he's also got one of the highest appearances of anyone in FTRL. Lotus on the hards in 12th. Again, not a brilliant qualifying from Lotus. He tends to do better in the race. 2 Bananas occupying 13th and 14th. Mr. Stim, who DNF'd in his first race. Hopefully he can finish on in the points. Lee Cole, scruffy lap, 14th on the hards. If he can just keep out the barriers, he should be okay. Max Death with his position penalty in 15th on the mediums. He'll be looking to get ahead of the likes of Lee Lotus on the hards. And Z3 rounding up the grid. He's qualifying again. Cut short by his own mistakes. However, he'll be looking to move forward.
Immaculately timed as always.
Here we go then. Lining up for what is the extremely long race of Singapore to 5 red lights. And we are off with this incredibly shaky camera, it must be said, as Lexus Legend gets a good launch. And looks like that McLaren of Aspect has got a great launch. He's already passed onto the podium. There's a diving Haas in the background. I'm not sure who that was. Look, I mean,
Hammer Time's in the
judging
wall.
by that, it might have been Hammer Time. Hammer Time is in the wall, so that's had not a good start at all. Haas is very aggressive on that soft tyre. It didn't work out for one of them. Can't remember which one it was. We've got Big Brutus up into 6th, Cats up into 5th, who are going well for the racing points. Onto the podium, he's lost out to Aspect. But apart from that, we seem to have got away okay apart from Hammer Time.
I said Mikey is wanting to get on with it and trying to get past onto the podium. But everybody knows what it's like trying to get past onto the podium. It's not the easiest job in the world.
Is indeed. So after turn 1, we've got Brutus up 6th, we've got Cat up 2 6th, up 3 places. Cat is up 3 places. He's always fast starting. We've got up a couple for Mikey and Cats. Also up a couple are the Bananas of Mr. Sim and Lee Cole. Hammer Time being the big loser, and Fro as well, as 5 places.
Terrible start.
I'm
He
not sure
doesn't
what's
have
happening
damage, so plenty of time in the race now to claw it back.
It is indeed. We've got Max all over the back of Lexus Lotus. He is usually on those slightly softer tyres, so I imagine he'll be looking to try and get a move before he gets held up. He's got to use his tyres now. With the strategies on, this is when he's quickest comparatively to everyone else.
Well, Nexus Legend is trying to get away early. He's already got 1 minute
Cats
second.
and Mike have had a bit of contact. Don't know what happened there, I wasn't on board.
Qualifying went fantastically well for Haas. However, in the race after 1 lap, it's 15th and 16th, and both of them have to come into the pits to change the front wing. So Howard Time is he's going to be what 40 seconds back, if not more.
We've got a bit
Being
of
held in his pits
between Big Brutus all the way down to Mr. Stim in 9th. So we'll get on board with Hijack, see if he can make a move. He looks like he's closest to doing it. Oh, we've got Zeddy free. Going to send it on the inside, is he? Not quite. Max defends. Max in the Red Bull, I mean it works. Just for my eyes, really. Indeed. But yeah, I mean, we had a couple of incidents there. Both the Hasses are in. Cats did make contact with Mikey. I don't know if he's still got his front wing.
I shall have a look. Yeah, Nexus Cat still has a full front wing.
Interesting. Wonder how that happened then. So we've got an enormous train, as you said. Usually on this sort of circuit you can get away from trains because there's a lot of corners. So
is that qualifying is very good for Haas at Singapore. The race, not so good.
Yeah, it's currently sort of happening fairly sort of accurately. Stim got very close to throwing there under braking, still does actually, as Hijack's already got a time penalty. That's Nexus Legend pumps in the fastest lap, already 2.4 seconds clear of Aspect in the McLaren.
On the podium had a little wiggle coming through the last corner, but he is trying his best to stay with Aspect.
Diddy free, makes the move. I think Max might have got a wiggle on coming out of the last corner. He's up into 13th place. Frome looked very eager to get past Hijack there. Just showed him the nose, didn't try it. Knew he was too far back, I think, in general. Hello, Goy. Hello, Carl. Good to have you.
City Point from the outside of Brutus.
Yeah. Oh, Cat sent that as well. It's forced them all wide. Brutus down the inside, Cat round the outside on the hard. There's not a lot of space there. They haven't touched yet, though. Now they have.
They have now. Definitely have now.
Yeah, that was.
Got the run.
Brutus has lost 4 positions in the space of about 4 corners. Bit of carbon fibre fell off there. I think Brutus.
I think Brutus hit Hijacked, and then From hit Brutus, and there's at least 2 or 3.
Banana, well, he's lunged it. Mr. Stim tried to send it into the hairpin there, but From, I think, was just about far enough in front.
Has wing damage. Stim has wing damage. Nexus Cat's up inside of Stim.
Yeah, Stim's lost some time here defending from Cats. Cat sends it again. He's too far back that time. Gets a penalty, but he did keep it out of the Banana. As a Banana in front loses more wing. I think it was a Banana. Could have been thrown as well.
Well, the 3 cars in front of Nexus Cats all have some sort of wing damage.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact going on as Cats dives into the pits. Oh no, it's not. Is it Cats? Or is it Brutus?
It's Brutus.
Yeah, Brutus into the pits. So he's going to change his wing. Or at least get those softs off.
No, Lee is heading towards a pit lane and he's on the hard tyre, so that would suggest he's also got wing damage.
Yeah, it can be one of those circuits where you do lose your wing a lot, as I was saying. If you can keep it out, you've got some chance like Monaco. Mr. Stim again brakes late. I think he's being caught out here by Frome. He needs to brake a little bit earlier, give himself a bit more breathing room going into the braking zones. There's a lot of them around this track. There's a lot of corners. There's Eddie Free. Oh, that's a lagging Lotus down the inside with Eddie Free. Looks like that was easy enough. Yeah, I don't think Lotus fired that too much. Might have known he was lagging. So it's Eddie Free up to a points paying position in 10th place now.
Well, the gap at the front is sort of staying at 2.5 seconds, so...
Yeah, another factor around here is tyre temps. Not such a big thing on this game in general, but Singapore is probably one of the worst for them. Especially if you're on the softer tyres, which no one is anymore. So, that's something.
But onto the podium is not falling away from Aspect yet.
No, we've
Just
got
outside
Legend.
DRS range.
Legend's sort of slowly, gradually pulling away from Aspect and onto the podium. He's keeping about 1.1 seconds. He'll be looking to get into DRS to try and maybe save some fuel or something like that along the straights. Flying Frome, once again closing up to Aspect. Those medium tyres will be feeling a lot nicer than the hards.
I would say from gaining, even with that slight wing damage, he's beginning to run wide.
Yeah, wing damage and that dirt. I mean, that dirty air at that corner is awful to begin with. If you put wing damage in there as well, it's going to be very difficult for him to manage.
Max is in pit lane to replace a front wing.
Yeah, so we've got a few of them that don't matter now. I think you need. I mean, the hards can go a long way around Singapore. I think maybe if you get to lap 10, you'd be alright.
Yeah. I mean, I tried the undercutting performance, but Jeff decided to put me on another set of medium tyres. So, yeah, it is something you have to watch out for because Jeff doesn't like the undercut.
No.
But on the podium, as close on the back of Aspect, he's well within DRS range now.
Gets very close to a wall there. He's obviously full of confidence. Frome.
Oh, I was going to say, Stim was down the inside of Frome. I don't know what happened, but Frome is well off the track.
So those two do know each other quite well. Sim and
I was
Frome.
going to say, those two have had some fairly... Yeah, let's just say they've had battles before in PSGL, so... Yeah.
They certainly have. So onto the podium he's looking quite confident around this track onto the podium. He's closing up to Aspect reasonably quickly.
He does definitely look quicker than Aspect at the moment.
Said you will lose a fair chunk of time just going around that corner in dirty air. It's very tricky to overtake around Singapore in the first place. So I don't know if he's going to look to sit behind, maybe save some fuel for later, or if he's actually going to try and look for an overtake, try and close down Nexus Legend. So elsewhere we've got the hard runners, City Posh, Cat and Hijacked. Not in a terrible position, considering they'll be on the faster tyres. It's onto the podium actually, going around the outside. It's a tricky spot to do it. Oh, Aspect.
Oh, contact, Aspect half spins.
I didn't look like onto the podium did a lot wrong there, to be perfectly honest. He went around the outside, Aspect. I think they sort of rubbed tyres, but it just caught him in the wrong place, and it sent Aspect spinning.
It also held onto the podium up. I mean, he's lost 1.3 seconds this lap to Nexus Legend. So, yeah, side-by-side battling does tend to slow you up.
It certainly does. Instead, there wasn't a lot in that one. It was just a bit of tyre banging, I think. But if you catch it the wrong angle, it can spin you out as just Mikey, I suppose. We'll just call him Mike. It's easier. Or Mikey, whichever he prefers.
I just call him Mikey.
Fair enough. Mikey round the outside of Max, despite being on the hards compared to the softs. So he's got some good pace.
I think it's just the joys of being a Haas driver. You have pace, but
Oh,
we've lost Mr. Stim.
Oh, that's in a very, very awkward place. Safety car? Anyone?
I was going to say, how is that not a safety car? That
They'll bring it round when Aaron will spin. They'll bring it out for that, won't they? I mean, I don't want to say rigged, but rigged. big ripped. They always bring it out for Aaron. He just phones up. It's like, excuse me, guys, we need a safety car. I'm not doing very well, as always. Then they'll bring one out for him, which is very nice of them.
Well, Cat has caught onto the DRS of City Posh Blue now.
Yeah, he's found some pace.
So we're going to have a fight for our top hard tyre runner.
Indeed. So City Posh is only 3.5 seconds off the medium runner, so that can easily be made up throughout the stint on the later tyres when you go straight onto the mediums and they'll be on the hards. You can make that sort of time up, as ZE3 is now slowly catching up to Nexus Cats. He's having a decent recovery drive as ZE3 so far. Started in 15th, now into 8th.
Looking strong at the moment.
He said he has lost his teammate though.
A lot of the guys are getting very close to that bridge. Yeah, I wouldn't like to go that close to it, but yeah.
It's probably the most technically difficult part of the track, is going up over that bridge. Very twisty, very tight, and for some reason also very tricky on traction at the same time. It's not particularly nice.
Just after that apex, you're then going to think about braking for the hairpin left, which cars don't like turning and braking.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where if you do
hijacked in pit lane.
Hijacked. So he was losing a lot of time to Cat. I don't know if he has wing damage. Well, he does. They're getting a wing ready. Tire.
That forces him onto the 2-stop.
Certainly does.
Unless he's impeccable with his tyre wear.
It's the problem when you do the one stop with hards to mediums. The medium to hards, you can sort of drag the mediums in out maybe a few more laps and take the hard to the end, but the other way around, you've got to do the 2-stop really.
Damaged his wing again and is going back into the pits.
Who's that?
Brutus from 10th.
It's not going his way so far, but then a lot of other people are damaging their wings. If he keeps going, he can still get a point or two. ZE3
pit stop. Brutus puts Lee into the point.
Does indeed. As mentioned before, ZE3 was slowly catching him. He's done it now within a DRS. There's only really one sort of consistent overtaking spot, and he's about to find it. See what his launch is like. That's not going to help him clipping the curb there. Cats gets away a little bit.
I'm wondering if FTRL Cat has had a slight wiggle because he was in DRS for into City Posh and now he's 2 seconds back.
Yeah, City Posh has also closed Aspect by 7/10. Don't know if City Posh has just had a really good couple of laps, or if these mediums are starting to become slower than the hards. Quite possibly.
Well, on the podium has pulled half a second on Nexus Legend.
So he's closing in. ZE3 doesn't need to actually overtake Cats on track as Cats comes into the pit lane. I think he did that. Did he have some wing damage? Let's have a look.
I'm not sure. The amount of cars that haven't.
Yellow flag.
Sector 2. I think Max has been round at the hairpin.
Just a tyre change for Nexus Cats. He's going for an undercut on the likes of Cat, Aspect, Lotus, Hijacked, basically everyone around him. So unfortunately we've got a decent gap around a lot of people. Although Hijack's thing has just helped to that. He's just come out just in front of Cats. But he should be able to get away being on the mediums.
I mean, you would think so, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull a pit stop gap because he is going to have to pit.
So far, Nexus Legend has done a very, very refined, mature job out in front. He hasn't hit a barrier yet.
Honestly, I just went on board with Lee, and that banana is very slippery at the moment. It doesn't look like it has much grip at all, which is a bit concerning after only 5 laps on those medium tyres.
So bananas are renowned for being slippery. A lot of people have fallen over them throughout cartoon history. So hopefully Lee isn't going to be part of that group. So onto the podium he's definitely not losing time to Nexus Legend. If anything, he's very slowly catching him.
Was it is coming down bit by bit. It'll be interesting to see who benefits from going onto the hard tyre.
Yeah, it's a very different car when you're on the hards on here. Obviously, you get a lot less turning, a lot less traction. Just makes it more sort of difficult, I suppose. Drives more like a midfield car than the. I think these are all based off the Mercedes, I believe, the multiplayer cars. So
I believe so.
at least they have been in the past, so I imagine they still are. So it behaves not particularly like a Mercedes when you put the hards on the medium. As Hijack bumps in the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyres. It's got 12.9 seconds to make up to Lotus, who just needs to stop again.
Well, I did wonder if he was going to be able to pull a pit stop the Nexus car, but he's pulled 3 seconds since the pit stop. So, there's some pace in that Red Bull.
Yeah, he really did fling into that corner. A lot more committed than cars behind him. He's obviously realised that after his wing change, he is going to need to really put the foot down on that 2-stop to make this work. City Porsche closing up again to next aspect, 1.7 behind him now. Thus far, it's definitely the side to be on compared to the mediums at the minute.
I was about to bring that one up. It does look like the crossover has happened and the hard tyre is now the quicker tyre on track.
It certainly does. It seems also Cat is slower than City Porsche. So at the minute, City Porsche is in the best place with the hard tyres. I think 1.7 is a pretty good gap to have going to the pit box. So he is. The Ferrari guys rush out. They somehow weren't ready for him. Onto the hards he goes.
I mean, it's a typical Ferrari race if they do balls up something with strategy, isn't it? So.
It's very true. This was his very slow pit stop. He's been on a very slow pit lane. This one. Is this a 37 mile an hour? Or is it a...
Yeah, it is indeed.
Look at that.
Was very sideways around the last corner. So
Knowledge.
I don't think he has much left in his tyres.
Simon will be proud of me. Some F1 knowledge there.
You will indeed.
Bosch gaining. So this is going to work out particularly well for him if Aspect pulls into the pits. Maybe at the end of this lap he won't lose any time through dirty air. And then he can continue on his way with clean air, which would be nice for him because he hasn't really had to do a lot of fighting City Porsche so far. His tyres will be as good as they are going to be after 10 laps on the hards.
It's always best to try and get some clean air, and City Porsche seems to have found a nice pocket of it, but yeah, all depends on Aspect does pit or not.
It certainly does.
I expect Aspect to get quite the undercut on the podium and Aspect.
Yeah, Legend has got clean air to drive into as well, so he should be able to gain a decent amount of time. I wonder
it's
if...
always a nice feeling when you pit and have clean air.
Yeah, you don't come out behind someone. Zeddy Free gets some time penalty.
On the podium is in the pits.
Aspect carries on. He's going to have City Porsche Blue for company coming into this corner. If he decides to lunge it, which he doesn't. Podium pick on the hards. Away he goes. He'll come out fairly far behind Legend based on...
Legend at the last corner now. Start finish straight.
Yep, he's past him. Away he goes.
So the gap was 3.5. Interesting to see what did go out to.
Oh, 5 seconds. City Porsche Blue hasn't found his way past Aspect yet, actually. Is now holding him up, I think.
I mean, the thing with City Porsche is he won't force a move if there isn't a gap. He is quite a gentleman racer. He's not just going to send it, so...
No, that's the sort of driving you want from a experienced driver like City Porsche Blue.
It is indeed, but it doesn't help his own races at times.
No, it certainly doesn't. That Aspect will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, I imagine, anyway, so it shouldn't be too painful. And to be honest, he's still pulling a tenth or so to cap. So
Legend has got into DRS of ZE3 now, but ZE3 will not be pitting for the near future. Still on those hard tyres.
Here comes Aspect. Is he going to pit? Yes, he is.
Looks
So
like a
Bosch
very
takes the
late
lead.
choice.
I was thinking about that. I was like, is he actually going to pit? Is he? Is he? Yes, he is. This Nexus Legend potentially lines up a move going into turn 1. Cuts that corner a little bit, or he might have cut it just the right amount. Here comes Legend. He's going to want to get past him. He's too far back. Said everyone running a lot of downforce around this track, so everyone will be pretty slow on the straights comparatively.
You would anticipate a move coming on the second DRS straight if he didn't make it on the first one.
He's got a pretty decent exit out there. Close
ZE3
it
go
goes.
defensive. He does.
Oh, yeah, ZE3's
Yeah,
making him go the long way
title
around. Right him out of row. I mean, that's very, very good defensive driving from ZE3. Aspect has to take the curb.
Hold on to the place.
Yeah, it's
Then
good
you want
driving.
the switch back.
It's just not quite got that in a straight line.
So this battle will be allowing on the podium to catch back up.
Yeah, it was some good defensive driving that from ZE3. Made him go the long way around turn 1, and then
Happen to know that ZE3 is in a party with on the podium, so
I'm not suggesting any collusion, but
they might be giving us some tips on how to defend. Maybe that's what we'll go with.
yeah, definitely.
And if you're
closes.
going to take tips from defending, you might as well take them from the original bus. So
Yeah, the OG. So he's pretty much pushing ZE3 around the circuit at the minute. Onto the podium's gained about a second and a half since the start of this battle. Is hijacked. Does overtake Lotus. Lotus doesn't fight him.
ZE3 going to want to get the move done soon.
He's got a good run out of this corner. Doesn't send it. Once the podium has gained another half a tenth. Half a tenth? Half a second. Half a tenth would be enough.
Always a bit sketchy doing the move into turn 1 because you anticipate them making the move on the second DRS straight back. So ZE3 got DRS off Max.
Yeah, I was going to keep him ahead. He does seem to have better straight line speed in general actually than Legend, because he was in slipstream as well with Legend, but ZE3 pulled away all the same. Just 4.2 seconds. The gap now, the DRS for both of them meant that they actually gained a bit of time onto the podium there, but they'll lose it through this sector 2 and 3 again.
We've just had a quick look at City Porsche. He's pulling away from Cat at the front, so City Porsche has pace. So when he pits to go on the medium tyre, he's going to be very quick at the end, I believe.
Yeah, he's been driving well actually. He is City Porsche.
Well, Mikey is within the DRS range of Lico now, back in 10th, on the battle for 10th, so.
Yeah, he's on the recovery drive. Is Mikey, as is Lee actually. I think all those bottom 4 are on the recovery drive. Lee, but he has been bringing himself back into it, I think, after the early mistake, as ZE3 gets a poor run out of turn, the final corner going to turn 1, makes Legend go the long way around again, but this time he swoops around the outside. Lovely move. Can he get a good exit here to make sure he's clear of ZE3? Possibly.
It looks like the move's done, but what's going to happen with DRS straight? Does ZE3 have the better straight line speed?
He's got a decent run out of that corner. It looks like his straight line speed is pretty strong.
A very long way back.
Yeah, I think it's better of it. So that is Legend up into first place. It only lost him maybe a second to onto the podium for all that, so I think that's not done him too much damage. Nexus Cat on the back of his Nexus teammate. Well, not teammate. Oh, he sent it! He's absolutely sent it on his Nexus brethren.
His esports compatriot.
He did send it, to be fair to him, but they're still going. Sends it again down the inside. Much more sensible move this time around, and Cat is into the head of them. Just Mikey and Lee Cole going at it. Lee Cole loses out at the end to Mikey around the inside. So yeah, unfortunate there for Lee, but Mikey did seem to have the better pace, and he is on the better tyre with
Was
11
at
laps,
least been
13.
on those mediums for a while now, so he's coming back into the pits fairly soon, you'd imagine.
Indeed.
Oh, but he has sent it as Leo, Mikey. Oh, that was close.
Was that intentional?
I don't know if Mikey just braked a little earlier than Lee was expecting, and Lee just reacted to go to the inside.
Lee
But
needs to pit. Those tyres don't look healthy. Like he was cat trying to scrabble for perches up a wall going out of that corner. He was wheeling all over the place. Big Brutus has now caught up.
well, on the podium is gaining on Z3 now, so
Lee's
Z.
on the outside. He's going to have the inside for this corner though. Brutus brakes later, they jump on the tyres. Brutus gets around the outside. Lee needs to pit now, he's lost 2 positions in one sector.
I think he sent it, but I don't think he meant to send it. I think those tyres are shot.
Definitely.
Lee, the Renault picker, have got a brew on for you, so just pop in, you'll be fine. Oh, no, he's carrying on, is Lee? Brave decision, as that car looks more than a handful.
Yeah. So he can probably put some hards and go to the end of the race now. So it probably should pit. If I were Lee, I would pit.
I mean, if anybody's in the party with Lee, please get him to pit before he crashes, because we want him to finish the race.
Onto the podium, closing up to ZE3. We'll see if ZE3 makes it as difficult for onto the podium as he did for Nexus Legend. And Big Brutus chasing down Mikey as well.
So since Legend got past, he has pulled 3.6 seconds to Z3, so...
Yeah, net, it's still 4.3, 4.4 to onto the podium, so he hasn't really lost time.
Well, actually, our cat picks up a penalty. And City Porsche is still pulling away from car out front, so... Still going strong.
This is probably where I'm looking to do it.
In no ERS. The podium goes up the inside. Gets the move done.
Yeah, easy enough there for onto the podium. He's now going to chase after Nexus Legend.
On the podium has the hard job. Can he stop the run? Well, I would say run away. It's a 9-point lead, but yeah, he has done very well in the championship as Nexus Legend this season. So can Connor be one of only 3 people to beat him this season?
We will see. He looks the marginally quicker car, but there is not a lot in it. He will have to drive a very, very good stint to catch up to him. As Brutus and Mikey get close. Brutus taking a very wide entry. That might give him a beautiful run into this corner. It certainly does.
So we have seen Legend pick up a couple of time penalties in the last couple of races. So
that was a very, very smart move, that from Big Brutus. He took an incredibly wide line into a corner, got a very, very good exit because of it, and made the move down the straight.
Well, Cat is in the pits from the hard tyre.
Yeah. 17, no, that's completely the wrong Maxwell. 13 laps. He needs to do on those mediums. He's already done 13 laps, but his tyres don't look very healthy, so he'll need to get the best out of those tyres now.
Lee's Banana looks not happy on those tyres as Hammer Time has caught up to him rapidly lately.
Yeah, Hammer Time, like his teammate on the recovery, only went backwards, got to Steiner. Real life problem, very much the same as Pagani's in-game problem, just for a completely different reason. Thankfully for Pagani, he's not blessed with completely incompetent drivers, so...
Oh, Lee's sideways again! He's got to come in the pits.
He
No,
doesn't.
he's staying out.
I'm not sure what he's gaining here because those hards are perfectly capable of going 13 laps. I don't know if he wants to put another set of mediums on. Did he start on the hards?
I shall check. I don't know if he's trying to stay out to go with the soft tyre, but he
I mean,
did
if he's,
start on the hard tyre.
but even if he can put another set of mediums on now, and he'll be okay as well. So,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with like.
he's obviously trying to get the best tyres for the end of the race, but if he's losing this much time now, he might not matter how good his tyres are at the end of the race. So Lee, Pitt, from just some helpful neighbourhood commentator.
ZE3's coming from 5th place on those hard tyres.
It's a decent stint from ZE3, considering he came, did start either in last or second to last place, straight onto the mediums. Apparently Aaron's told him off and he will now be pitting, so that's good to hear. As he is continuing to slide all over the place, is Lee. He's been battling a lot on those mediums. They're already quite old. And ZE3 has actually come back out ahead of Cats and on the faster tyres, so he's in a decent points playing position right now, ZE3.
I would say Lee is sliding more in this session than I was in the wet session in qualifying yesterday for F1.
And Cat as well is doing well for himself up in 5th on the mediums. See if he can catch Aspect. It would be a tall order, but he is on the quicker tyre. As Nexus Lotus comes into the pit stop, changes his front wing again. Goes for ooh, that's some good camera work, well done. So that's some fantastic.
Well, Mikey is also in
The camera,
a fresh wing and a fresh set of mediums. Lee is finally in the pits after 14 laps on the medium tyre.
we've got fellow admin Zom in the chat who's gone hashtag Team Lee, hashtag Team Banana, hashtag Pissed Zom. So, well,
yeah, he has a
free bar in it.
free bar, so I think, yeah. City Porsche is also in the pits, which has promoted Legend back to first
It's
place.
going to be interesting. Where is City Porsche come out? Cat was the nearest one to him, and Cat did pick a couple of laps earlier. Cat does set the fastest lap as well. Cat's coming around turn
side
1.
by side, but City Porsche, that narrow exit from pit lane is a killer.
Yeah, he has lost out there actually. Cat 2-lap undercut for him, worked out very well. Cat moving into 4th place. Very, very good first few laps of his first stint from Cat there, undercutting City Porsche.
On the podium has lost a second to Legend since we last looked, so yeah, it looks like Legend is going to be able to hold this one.
You can tell Zom has been on the drink because we've got just a lot of hashtags going on. Once you start hashtagging everything, you've had a decent amount of the alcohol.
Is that something that happens on the alcohol? I'll take your word for it.
It's the rule. One of the rules. Hashtag a little
City,
bit of bubbly.
City Porsche is right on the back of Cat after that pit stop.
Yeah, he will have significantly better tyres, especially for the last couple of laps of the race. We saw how much Lees went off on lap 13. Cat is going to be on lap 13 at the end of this race. So, and City Porsche did look the quicker car throughout the first stint as well. So, he might be able to get this done. It's a tricky track to overtake, but he's got the pace for it and the tyres, I think. So, we might see him get 4th.
He also has a lot of ERS left for City Porsche. He's only got 80%.
City Porsche, it's a good launch actually out that final corner. He might be able to make a move. He can do that. Whoa. Thinks better of it. Good job as well because Cat didn't leave that door open.
I was going to say Cat was claiming the apex, so...
I mean, he was ahead, so he really had the right to. As ZE3 sets the fastest lap of the race, beating Cat's time and hijack pits for the soft side.
City Porsche is making a move. Cat doesn't leave him much room on the inside.
Very little. It's difficult to overtake Cat even in a straight line, it seems. But City Porsche is through. He might be able to pull away now, maybe close Aspect for these last 10 laps of the race.
Well, Aspect is beginning to close on the podium. Little by little.
That's a song, that.
So at the end of this race, we might have quite a battle.
We could have a battle for third place. If Cat goes with City Posh, then we could have a three-way battle for third place. Shout out to Zeddy3, who's gone from the back of the grid to 6th so far. Very, very good race from him. I think Sondre might be his actual name. I think.
I don't know.
Based on his Twitter, I think it's Sondre. So well done, Sondre. Keep it out of the barriers. Very, very good race so far. I'm almost definitely not pronouncing that right, by the way. Just FTRL Panda or Will. That's my name. Let me know after. You can moan at me then. City Posh is fast that. Speedy man. City Posh Blue. Does that mean he's a fan of? Is he a fan of Man City?
No.
Or is he a fan of Peterborough?
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't like
to classify him either way, just in case we get it wrong and he gets chastised somewhere. So
yeah. I think the Posh are Peterborough, and obviously City in blue can be Man City, but then Peterborough also play in blue. There's a problem going on there. City Posh Blue, please let me know. Are you a Peterborough fan or a Man City fan? Just so I can say in the future.
I was saying, I would just going to continue going through the grid of people who you want to message you after the race.
Yeah, I'm continuously messing up, so I need to mention. Apparently, if you don't do commentary for a few weeks, you come back and you're completely useless. Aaron's helped me out in the chat there, Man City. Thank you very much. Don't know why have you got Posh then?
I mean, you say leave it a couple of weeks, but I mean, I'm useless all of the time, so I think you're fine. Doesn't matter.
Don't be me.
Well, City Posh is rapidly closing in on Nexus Aspect.
Yeah, he's not enjoying the. I mean, Aspect is not actually losing time to onto the podium either. So City Posh is just going incredibly quickly. Thank you, Aaron. You obviously used your massive brain in that huge forehead to come up with that fantastic insult. City Posh closing into DRS. So you started it, Aaron. You started that. Pagani?
No, I'm on Will's side.
Yeah. You started that. It's your fault. You've only got yourself to blame.
Well, my question is will hijack set fastest lap being on that soft tyre? Or does City Posh just have that bit more pace?
So there is a point in it. Currently in the season.
I mean, Hijack has used all of his ERS, like 4 corners from the end of the lap, so that won't help his charge for fastest lap, but...
Indeed, penalties will... And there you go. There is the fastest lap point. I mean, currently, Hijack can pit again and set another fastest lap point if he wants. I don't know how many times you want to do it. You don't get bonus points if you do it many times, just saying. City Posh 3 tenths to Aspect now coming out of, I believe that's the hairpin, coming onto the straight.
It is indeed.
Penalty.
Mikey picks up a penalty.
Yeah, they will. As always, have a factor.
I haven't really been paying attention to all of them, so it's going to be interesting to see how this field does jumble at the end.
So I think Zeddy3's got a couple, but apart from that, I can't really remember.
I mean, I doubt one at the podium will have many, because he never really does, because he's that boring, he just keeps it between the lines.
He's very close to City Posh Blue now. Very close indeed. He's going to get dirty air coming out this corner though, if it's not affected him too badly. He might be close enough to make a move actually going into turn 1. I think it's better of it.
I think making the move on the second DRS straight just works out a little better, so he can't come back at you as much.
Oh, hang on, he's going to try it. Maybe he's trying to compromise his line going in. He's done the same thing that Big Brutus did actually coming onto this straight. Tried to compromise Aspect's line by faking a swing around the outside. It's giving him a good run. Down the inside he goes from Aspect trying to defend, but he's giving him the gap. City Posh breaks late, but Aspect actually breaks very well on the outside. Holds the position going into the corner, has the inside for the next one.
Runs deep though, City Posh go for the switchback.
It's going to get very
and
tight.
The switchback here?
Possibly.
Not really an overtaking corner the next one.
Going to be getting moist. But not quite moist enough. He doesn't complete the switchback. Shame. But yeah, I think City Posh realised that with the at the end of that corner after they were going side by side, it gets incredibly tight with that nice sticky out piece of wall. So
It does indeed.
I think he decided not to do that, but it has allowed Cat to gain about a second on him. So maybe you can bring Cat back into this.
Well,
The final
Aaron has
laps.
suggested that of course I'm on Will's side. Well, I mean, it's my prerogative.
He's completely unbiased, it's begun. He just realised that you started it. There's no other word for it.
I was like, that was the question. I answered said question. So
Exactly. It's very close again. Weirdly, I mean, Aspect did do some incredibly good defending,
run.
but he's even closer now. Aspect with the lag symbol, just what he wants to hear, defends the inside. There's no very good driving City Posh keeping that out of Aspect.
Says City Porsche does have the lot quicker mid-corner speed, but Aspect is parking it on the apex, which he's entitled to do. But yeah, quick reactions from City Porsche saved his front wing.
Yeah, that I would have gone straight into the back of him then. It's not close enough. Aspect got a good run. So this is going to be infuriating for City Posh as he sees Cat get ever closer behind him.
He can't get ever closer, so he's up the podium and get ever further away.
Oh, Max.
Yellow flag. Oh.
Oh, hijacked.
What's up?
Oh,
Cats is round at turn 1.
He's still got his wing though. He's managed to be involved in 2 separate crashes and keep his wing. That's impressive. Give him that. Him and hijacked look to have a bit of a moment there by the looks of it. Again, not sure what happened, but there we are.
City Porsche is right on the back of Aspect.
It certainly is.
But these two are closing on. Oh, City Porsche picked up a penalty.
Got a yellow flag as well. I don't know who that is.
Both Aspect and City Porsche are closing on the podium. I don't know if he's made a mistake, but he's lost half a second this lap.
This could get very interesting coming into the last few laps.
And Cat has closed half a second.
Yeah, City
It's all
Posh
concertinaing up.
needs to find his way past Aspect. Now I think he's got the pace to outdistance Cat, but he needs to get around Aspect because Cat will take an opportunity for an overtake. We know that about him.
I'll say, give Cat any opening, he will take it.
Yeah, opposite drivers at the end of the scale really. City Blue, interesting.
Run.
Down the inside, City Posh Blue goes to score now.
Just gives him the outside. Aspect still up the inside. Just there's contact.
That was a bit. Ooh.
It's very similar to Aspect and onto the podium earlier on in the race.
Yeah, it was a bit optimistic there from Aspect, I think. I think City Posh was probably past him there. I don't think there was a lot he could do about it.
But that half slide from Aspect has put Cat right into that DRS window.
Yeah,
Exactly a second.
and City Posh can now chase down onto the podium for second place. It looks like he will have the laps to do it. Will he have the tyres? He's used a lot of them, I imagine, to get past Aspect. Because Aspect
City
did not
Posh
make it easy.
and onto the podium both have very similar ERS levels. Aspect is used quite a lot in the defensive opposition. Well, unfortunately the strategy from Lee tonight is put him 20 seconds from the next car.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare all round.
Just a race to forget for Renault.
It's also a bit of a race to forget for Haas.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that one. But, yeah.
It's hijack pits up a penalty. So we're now closing up a bit. Cat is actually struggling to gain those final few attempts on Aspect to get into DRS. However, City Posh isn't. He's already within DRS of onto the podium. This will be a very intriguing one to see if City Posh can find his way around onto the podium. Arguably a tougher defensive opponent than Aspect. It's based on just his history, really. I find myself that I get so excited if I overtake him, I immediately spin into a wall because you just get too excited that you've finally done it after 20 laps of sitting behind him. Hopefully City
I
Posh can have
mean,
more luck than me.
yeah, myself and on the podium don't have the best overtaking record, resulting in I think 9 of my front wings in one season. Which yeah,
Oh, he's very close though. City Posh Blue.
well,
Cat's
Cat
not too
has
far behind
got
either.
into aspects DRS.
City Posh is going to try it on the outside. He's unlikely to get round there against onto the podium.
Oh,
He has lost he lost a shard of front wing there. He said he was always in danger going around the outside there. You are very close to a wall.
no, I was going to say that wall is a tyre ripper-offerer, and that's an official term.
But Pagani approved this message. We'll get Si on it later. We'll see if he also approves this message. ZD3 gets another time penalty. God.
Oh, City Porsche for that mid-corner speed. And the podium's gone defensive into turn 1.
On the outside he goes. Oh, he fucking.
There's contact on the podium's round.
Oh. Ooh.
City Porsche has waited for him, though.
Unbelievable.
With promoter aspect and Cat onto the podium.
That might be one of the greatest bits of sportsmanship I've ever seen in league racing. Because it's cost him about 25 seconds to wait up front of the podium there, but he obviously thought he was in the wrong. He's waited up his weave to apologise there as well, so fair play to City Posh Blue. As Aspect, I think, has been overtaken by Cat, but that's a good attitude there from City Posh.
Yeah, it's what we'd like to see in FTRL. Obviously, we don't like to see contact, but I mean, he's owned up to the mistake before the race is even finished. So,
Said it wasn't like a out and out dive bomb into your side pod either. It wasn't a huge amount in it, but he obviously thought he was in the wrong, so fair play to him. And ZD3 has actually found himself into this battle somehow, thanks to that. As he's going to try it around the outside again, City Posh won't get his way around there.
I believe on the podium might make it even more difficult now than he ever would. But, yeah.
And we do now have a three-way battle for fourth. It was going to be for second, but for other reasons, it's now for fourth. As Big Brutus.
Just to say, Brutus has caught on the back of Nexus Lotus.
So he's on like a 7 billion stop or something, Brutus, but it's working alright. He's onto the podium. Is he round again?
He's pitting.
Interesting.
He's got a bit of wing damage.
He's going as fast as that.
He has wing damage.
He has got time to hijack, so it's a sensible call if he thinks he wasn't going to be able to hold them off with the wing damage to hit and get the fastest lap point. Something I forgot to do by performance, it must be honest. Instead, I just span into a wall. So.
Cat hasn't dropped Aspect.
Although
Aspect
hijack's pitted again. I think he also wants the fastest lap. Although he's going to lose the spot to Cats.
The Nexus Cats is going to get hijacked.
Has anyone told Hijack that you get 2 points per position moving up, but you only get 1 for fastest lap?
Well, he was on 8-lap old soft, so maybe they were close to death, I don't know.
Possibly. So it's now going to be a fastest lap shootout between onto the podium and Hijacked. We now have a quality situation, which is a bit odd. As Aspect, you're right, I think Cat has had the best of those medium tyres. We saw it with Lee, 13 laps and they were looking ropey. Cat's done 11. Might be getting towards the end, but he's only got this and the next lap to hold off Aspect, so he should be okay. Said I'm Brutus, going around the outside of Lotus, or 9th place. Couldn't make it work, has to tuck back in behind. It's going to be very intriguing here, Pagani, to see who gets the fastest lap out of onto the podium and hijacked.
Well, I know these two have had quite a few battles this season, so this is just another one in the cog for them, but yeah.
Yep, they're managing to have a battle without being anywhere near each other on the track, which is very impressive.
To be fair, it's probably better for our stewards that way, so... yeah.
I'll be impressed if someone manages to put the others in the steward's office for getting fastest lap.
Well, yeah, onto the podium is in overtake ERS. He's going for fastest lap for definite.
Aspect is pushing, trying to overtake Cat. And he's finding it difficult.
We saw Lee's tyres after 13, 14 laps weren't in the best condition, and Cat's been on those for 12 laps.
He certainly has. This is going to be a very, very nervy couple of laps for Cat and all his fans back on the stream. I think Aaron's a big Cat fan. Who else we got in there? Zom? No, he only likes bananas to Zom.
Hijacked is in 1 ERS, so he might not be going for fastest lap. You might think he's already got it.
Well, he's going to be very disappointed in a minute then.
He might not know that on the podium has pitted for softs. We have an Aaron Taylor in chat saying, "Are we gaming afterwards?" I mean, possibly.
Said Big Brutus has got past Lotus. Aspect. I mean, he is behind Cat. He's too far back though, coming onto the straight Cat.
I just switched to City Posh, and it was like opposite lock to opposite lock to opposite lock coming out of turn 2. I don't know how we saved it.
Zom's is now having more champagne, toasting it to Team Banana. I think you've chosen the wrong race, Zom. One's DNF'd and one's last on track. So you've...
Onto the podium, claimed fastest lap on that lap. Does Hijack respond on this lap?
I have a feeling he is. He's in 5 ERS. This is going to be a quali lap from Hijack.
I'll try it. Onto the podium's got no ERS left to respond, so it's down to Hijack about who gets fastest lap.
Dirty Free gets his 19th time penalty.
It's a bit like Joe Burns yesterday. He had like 700 seconds by the end of it. It was...
Zom's remaining optimistic. 3 more crashes and he's in the points. Correct, unless one of them is Lee.
Well, Nexus Legend is coming around the last corner on the final lap.
Do we get fireworks from Singapore?
I don't know. Singapore is unusually late. It's daylight, I've just realised.
We apologise for all those hardcore realists.
We've literally done 31 laps and I only just realised it's daytime at Singapore.
This is what you get with me streaming instead of Sai. Sai would have known that immediately.
Well, what I can say is that the race leader has won the race. Yeah. Full Michael Owen.
The race leader has won the lace. Won the lace, interesting. The guy currently...
Well, Aspect has jumped Cat. I'm going to guess that was on penalties.
Almost definitely. Is Eddie Free going to come last because of all his penalties? No? Okay. Onto the podium. In 6th place, Cats is going to come home for 7th unless he has a penalty, although I've seen a couple
I was going to say Hijacked is coming up quick onto the back of Nexus Cats, but he's very sideways in this last sector. Will he get fastest lap? Oh, he sent it around the last corner. What happens? Does he get it?
Nope.
I don't think he did.
So that means that the guy with the quickest time has got the fastest lap. Congratulations to onto the podium. As Big Brutus is going to come home for 9 points. 9 points. It's all going wrong, Pagani. 9th place, 2 points. But he'd love it if it was 9 points. No, it's all gone wrong. Lexus Lotus does jump him on penalties anyway, so there we go.
Cat. Oh no. Cat's going to be in the podium interview, isn't he?
Is that a bad thing?
You will have to interview him because he can't understand me.
We've got a lovely multicultural podium once again. We have a Dane in 1st place, an Irishman in 2nd, and a Finnish person in 3rd place. Lovely stuff.
Well, you won't know, but since the last time you commented, we now have a driver of the day interviewee in interviews now, so...
I think for me it's Is it? I mean, Cat's already there, so maybe ZE3. I think he came from 16th to 5th. That's pretty
I mean,
good.
I would suggest so if can't get ZE3, maybe Lee because he actually finished the race.
That's a fantastic point. We'll get flying for him for completing 3 laps. Get them all in.
I mean,
So there are the results. Nexus Legend wins yet again. Aspect in second and Cat in third. City Posh in fourth with ZE3. Driver Relief me in fifth. On to the podium after we spin with City Posh in sixth, but does have fastest lap. Nexus Cats and Hydrax in seventh and eighth. Solid results for them too. Nexus Lotus and Brutus bringing up the rear of the points. Saved it. Hammer Time and Just Mikey in 11th and 12th. Lee in 13th and 14th. And then, I don't know, I think the rest DNF'd. I think we had Max, Stim and Chrome all a DNFing.
I'll start suggesting these to the party one by one because I don't have any of them as friends because I'm a bad commentator.
At least you're honest.
Well, Nexus Legend doesn't have a mic, so I won't invite him. I shall try and get everybody else invite. Wait, at least send your way as a suggested player.
And let's see if I can manage this then. That's Cat Aspect and ZE3. That'll do then, unless you want to get a fourth in for good times.
I want to get Lee in just so I can shout at him for not pitting earlier.
Good shout.
So I will suggest him because I don't think he's finished a race this season, so he's probably quite happy.
We'll see if Lee joins. He might be thinking I'm playing some sort of practical joke on it.
To be fair, we probably are.
I think we are. It was your fault anyway. You're to blame.
I usually am. Suggested should we switch it up when I interview Aspect because Cat can't understand what I say.
That's fine. Off you go.
Oh, another podium finish for you tonight, Aspect.
Yep.
Obviously, Legend just getting that a little bit further away from you tonight. Was it a touch of what might have been, or was it Legend just too quick for you tonight?
I'm not really sure. It's my first league race around here, and my pace seemed very good. I didn't even have practice, so getting second was maybe like kind of above what I expected. I probably expected a top 5 more so than like second where it finished. But there was also an incident between like onto the podium and City Posh, which kind of gifted me a P2 and then Cat's penalty. I'm not really sure what happened there, but yeah, second place is pretty good for me. The actual race though wasn't really that action packed. I was just kind of driving on my own. Then I had an incident with onto the podium, which lost me second, and from there didn't really do anything. And then at the end had a pretty good fight with City Posh. Keeping him behind was difficult because he was on better tyres, and eventually he ended up getting past me, but I enjoyed that fight while it lasted. Yeah, happy with P2 and happy with my pace overall. Yeah, also with Legende at the start, if I didn't have the spin, I wasn't looking too far away, so I maybe could have challenged for the win, but I'm not really sure because it didn't happen that way. So
Well, I mean, for men in form in F2, I think you're right up there. I mean, you're only a few points away in the championship. Do you still think you're in with a shout? I mean, I think it's going to be 14 points-ish. I'm not sure. I can't do maths.
Well, I mean, I know I can be up there. I know Legende is going to be up there. I mean, obviously we're first and second in the championship, so you kind of expect us to be up there, looking at it. I feel like I could challenge him. I've obviously beat him the last 2 races fair and square, so he is beatable, although I didn't really think I'd ever beat Legende. I did it twice, so I think I can fight. If I can or not, we'll see, but I think it's going to be a good fight to the end. I'll certainly do my best as well.
Well, got Germany next. How was that track for you personally?
Germany, I've like it. I've gone quite well around there before. It's kind of a track where I'm not really sure where my pace is, because sometimes it seems good, sometimes it seems bad, but I am usually quite good, like, for finishing positions, so I think I could be up there, maybe not challenging for pole. I'd say more so top 4, and again, I'd say challenging for a podium, but I wouldn't really say I'd be going for a win, especially with Agende being there as well. Like, he is obviously very quick, and yeah, we'll see.
Well, congrats on yet another podium this season, and no doubt we'll be talking to you again next week, because you seem to be here every week, so congrats.
Thanks.
So, Cat on the podium once again. How did that race go for you? It seemed like you kept it pretty clean, all in all.
Yeah, it was not like my usual races. Usually I'm involved in many fights on the track, but now it was just me doing my own stuff, and I was really surprised that I ended up in podium. Of course, it was a bit lucky as there were people crashing in front of me, but I'm usually really slow at this track, and I tried this strategy for the first time in performance, and that went well, so I tried it again, and it went well again.
Certainly did. Do you think that's what got you this such good result then, the hard to mediums?
Let's see.
Do you think that's what got you the good result, hard to medium?
Could you repeat again?
Pagani, you might need
it's
to
hard
take
as
over
a
here.
to understand anything.
So the strategy you went for, do you think that's what paid off?
Yeah, I think that was the only reason. The mediums are so fast in the end, so it's just when the people are fighting in front of you and you have like the first tires, you just make like 2 seconds lap.
Decent. How what are your aims then for the rest of the season? Where are you looking to finish?
I don't know. I've had so hard races and many DNFs, and so I don't know if the promotion is anymore a target, but I think I'm just trying to enjoy all the races and see where I end up.
Seems like a pretty decent plan to me. Anyone know what track we have next week?
It's Germany next week.
Germany. So, Cat, Germany, what do you reckon? We're going to see you on the podium again?
I don't know. Germany is my favorite track in this game, but I'm usually really fast at quali, but for some reason I just can't get my pace transferred from quali to races. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to wish you the best of luck and well done on your... Did you get P3 or was it P2 on podiums, on penalties?
P3.
P3. Anyway, well done on P3. It was a good result.
Well, on to Mr. Lee Hall.
Hello.
Well,
Sympathy vote. Woo!
we did try to get ZE3 in here for driver of the day, but we thought we'd get you in because, I mean, you finished a race, so it was.
I finished races this season, but not complete first. It's rarity, granted, but it's not complete first.
I mean, obviously, Singapore is quite a difficult track. I found that out yesterday with finishing 3 corners of my own race. How was it? We saw you pick up some early wing damage.
Yeah, didn't get any time before the race to put any practice in, which probably didn't help. So my first qualifying laps were kind of exploratory in terms of finding braking points, which there's 2 corners I really struggle with on the circuit, which is the one coming over the bridge and the one going under the grandstand, where sort of the little tunnel section there, and that's kind of been my undoing twice. So it was kind of on the back foot a little bit in qualifying. But, I mean, the first 2 sectors, when I was looking at the qualifying times, weren't too bad. It was that third sector where I was struggling and just kept picking up wing damage, so just didn't really get a clean, decent lap in qualifying. Decided to go with the hards at the start, and just obviously not the most amount of grip there, and I think my driving style does suit a slightly grippier car, so yeah, struggled a bit in the first couple of laps, which then resulted in me going into that wall underneath the grandstand again, picking up wing damage. But from there on after, getting onto the medium tyres, the car felt a lot better. Got into a bit of a rhythm, then yeah, a couple of little errors, mainly again at that sort of hairpin over the bridge. That was kind of the couple of moments there, and a couple of times at turn 2 I got on the curb there and it tried to spit me off, but managed to catch it. Did eventually clip another wall, sort of about 8 laps from home, just damaged the wing on one side, but again the car felt okay, so yeah, it wasn't too many dramas really.
Well, we did see you sort of struggle with tyre wear towards the end of that first medium stint.
Yes, I was probably ran a little bit too long on the tyres. I was waiting for Jeff to give me the signal to come in. I was kind of wanting to go in, but I was kind of figured I'd check the MFD, and he said, 4 laps to your pit stop. I was like, okay, fair enough, I could probably make it last. And then about 2 laps later, it was a little bit sideways everywhere. And Hammer Time was coming up behind me, so we said, we're looking forward to a battle, because obviously he'd had an accident on the first lap and dropped to the back. And as he called to me, I was just starting to drift absolutely everywhere. And I said, you know what, just go through, because I guarantee if we fight, I will literally just spin and take us both out. So let him go, did 1 more lap, then finally got off those tyres, and then back onto a fresh set, and from then it was alright on the tyres again.
Of course, I'm not gonna lie, I did message people that were in your party trying to plead with them to get you to pit, because we wanted you to make the finish.
I got the message. Yes.
But obviously it hasn't been your season, shall we say, this season. It's been a speculative season, shall we say.
Yeah, I think it just tends to be the guys in F2. There are some very quick guys in here. This is only my second season of competitive league racing, so in terms of ability, they're probably some way ahead of me, and I'm trying to make that up by being aggressive, and that's kind of been my downfall, I think, in a couple of races this season. A couple of times I've been unlucky with getting involved in other people's accidents, so Silverstone, I came around the first corner and there's 3 cars spinning across the middle of the road where I had nowhere to go, and I got wing damage there. At Russia at the start, I got a fairly decent start down the inside, but then everybody kind of went about 3 or 4 wide, and there probably wasn't room for 3 or 4 cars there, so ended up getting squeezed into the wall and wing damage there. Suzuka, again, came around the Dunlop hairpin, and there's a TNR spun sideways in the middle of the road, and he didn't ghost, and I just hit and I clipped him and damaged my wing there, so just been really unlucky with those. And then a few places I've had accidents of my own accord. Australia was always going to be a bit of a tricky one. Again, I'd called literally the corner and the lap that I would crash on, and nailed it on the head. Last time out was a bit ridiculous, my accident, if I'm honest. But yeah, I think I just need to get into... I think when I started F3 last season, the good results I got early on were for just getting my head down and running my own race, and just kind of ignoring what people around me were doing, like knowing which battles to fight and which ones who to let go, basically. And I think I kind of need to just get back into that a little bit today, because once I got changed my wing and got out onto the medium tyres tonight, I was doing okay. Got up to 10th with people going off around me, but then obviously the tyres just fell away, and I think the guys who were behind me were quicker anyway, so I think I needed a few more people to drop out if points were to be on the cars today.
Well, obviously Germany next week. Is that one you're looking forward to, or is it I need to practice there and get my eye in?
I mean, Hockenheim's one of those legendary circuits. It's been on the calendar a long time, so I know the circuit pretty well. I've raced it enough times on this game and others. Obviously, turn 1 is a particularly difficult corner. It's not really a difficult corner, but obviously it's very tight, so you want to carry speed, but you've obviously got to keep within the limits there, and that's a very easy place to pick up penalties. But yeah, no, I don't mind Germany, so if I can get a decent setup, get into a bit of a rhythm, then you never know what might happen. Germany does tend to throw up good races, so fingers crossed I can be involved in anything. I just need to give a shout out to Hammer Time tonight for loaning me his setup, because after I all got wiped off last season when my game glitched out, I thought I had. Well, I remember doing the first 6 races earlier in the year, get my setups done, and then as I went into this race, I was like, I don't know if I have a setup for Singapore, so he kindly donated his settings to me, and yeah, it felt pretty good. So thank you, Tel, for that.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you in this podium interview for being on a podium very soon. I mean, it
might be next season. It might be an F3.
It's bound to come at some point. So, well,
I've had one. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say it's coming in F2. So
no, it's not. There will be a lot of accidents before I get onto an F2 podium.
Well,
but you never know.
Congrats on making the finish once again.
Thanks.
And Will, in the meantime, we have been joined by ZE3. So I don't know if you want to pop off a couple of questions.
We have indeed. So ZE3, you're in here because you were our driver of the day, coming from 16th last to, was it 6th in the end? Or 5th?
5th.
5th, very good. But yeah, you were the driver of the day for that reason. So yeah, I think something went wrong in qualifying for you, didn't it? What happened there?
Well, well, it shouldn't happen. I'm driving without ABS here, and I'm usually driving with ABS, so the last few tracks it's been fairly decent for me, but I've struggled a lot before this track with not locking up in certain corners, and well, in quali I did exactly that, except I locked up the rears, spun onto the podium, crashed into me, and a Red Bull crashed into me, got a 5-place grid penalty, and well, when I got that I figured that I might be able to take 4th in quali, but that would drop me down to 9th or something, and I would really not start in that position, so just decided to start from the back.
Fair enough. I think you went like sort of cat and city posh. You went with the hards all the way to the mediums, didn't you? Do you think that got you this good result from the back, that tyre strategy?
Well, hards to mediums was a decent strategy. It's fair, it's a bit better than mediums to hards, but what really got me was just staying back at the start, avoiding any wing damage, having a little luck with other people ending up in incidents, and yeah, then just trying every time I had clean air to push as good as I could, and I never got comfortable with my pace or brakes around there, so couldn't really push properly. I tried at the end when I was behind City Push, or yeah, I think that's his name, something like that.
Yeah.
Instantly started locking up everywhere and almost ended in the wall a few times, so best I could have gotten today, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a good result from the back of the grid, definitely. We saw a pretty good defensive moves from you actually. I think you were fending off Legend. I think it was. It was some good defensive moves. You sort of happy to do some hard defending, or was that a bit unusual for you?
I wouldn't say unusual. It all it sounds a bit like a dick, but kind of depends on who it is. And like Legenda, I've raised him in some other leagues, and I know I can beat him. But he usually ends up on top. So like when he came up behind, I just wanted to let him know that I might not be battling him in this race, but I'm sure gonna battle him for this position.
I think he got that message pretty clear. It took him quite a long time to get round you. So yeah, moving on to Germany. What are your thoughts around there then? Do you like it? We're going to see you and Legende. I'm going to pronounce it correctly this time. Are you going to have a big battle with him?
Well, Germany is for sure a better track. Well, Singapore is actually the better track for me usually, but then again, without ABS, I feel a lot more comfortable around there. So I've had a few good races in Germany lately, and if I get comfortable enough and can push hard enough, then going for the win, then podium, I will be happy with the podium being the first, but definitely gonna go for that win and definitely gonna defend if I have to.
Well, we've seen you can do it, so best of luck for Germany, and well, great result going from the back to 5th, well done.
Thank you.
And so I believe that is everything, so join us tomorrow same time, 8 PM for F3, also around Singapore of course. Hopefully you'll be joined by, who's doing that? Is it Lee and Sai, or is it someone else?
Sai's racing, so I don't think he's doing it.
It's either it's Joe and then either me or Lee or both of us, or don't know.
I do believe it's your turn this week.
Well, either way, you'll have
the game
fantastic commentators, I'm sure. Anyway, look
So
forward to that one
Mr.
then.
Burns, fantastic.
And, yeah, Mr. Burns. He's always happy as Mr. Burns, so you'll have him tomorrow at 8. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that one, and thank you for tuning into this one.